First of all, I want to start out by saying everything that we're seeing right now has been caused by what I call the hive mentality. We study about bees. What do bees do? They work for the queen. All these policies that are being put into place is causing what I call groupthink. Now, if you want to see the very definition of a mob, look up videos for Black Friday. This is the reason why we are losing our rights. This is the reason why we are seeing officers being killed. This is the reason why we see our citizens being killed, is because everybody wants to look at these officers with a hive mentality. Not all of these officers are evil human beings. But if we look at them for what they are now, based off the policies that come from the top. The police officers are the worker bees. They go out and enforce policy. Police. Enforce policy on the mobs. They are the backup for the citizens. I'm getting tired of hearing people say, we're doing this for democracy. Democracy this, democracy that. Democracy is another term for socialism. We live in a republic. The police are the cleanup crew. If every citizen stood up for their rights to self-defense, their inherent God-given right of nature to be able to defend themselves as it should be, as it always has been, then we wouldn't have these problems, now would we? Look at the animal kingdom. See, people forget. They think we're above nature. Right? They think that human beings are above nature. If you really think that, why don't you look up the Kansas tornadoes? Look up the one that happened in Oklahoma. There ain't no hive mentality, government policy, city policy, or any police that's going to come in and tell a tornado that it can't commit destruction. We live within nature. Every animal, no matter what it is on this earth, has its own defense mechanisms. You cannot take a wolf out of the wild, take the jaw out of it, and then throw it back in the wild and expect it to survive. It can't be done. The problem is that we don't want to see reality for what it is, because they've created this hive groupthink mentality through the media, through the movies, through the music industry, and it all comes from the top. They want to divide us with race. They want to divide us, say, well, the police officer's this, police officer's that. Bullshit. Not every man is the same. You can't clump everybody into one group just because someone wears a badge and a uniform. You want to point the finger at them and call them evil. Or just because a black man commits a crime in Chicago, or people act like idiots and tear shit up and steal shit, everybody wants to lump all black people as evil and as that. Sorry, no. Or that the white person, the white man or woman, should own up to their white privilege. That is group think. It is being done by the media. Everything that we are seeing is being constructed. It is done by design. Here's the problem. And this is something that I perceive. We're going to talk about Odin for a minute. The story of Odin is that he gave up his eye for knowledge. But if you actually think about it, he's got one eye looking out at the world and the other looking in. Inside of us is a self. Is independent. It has no color. It has no... It can't be defined. It can't be taken away. But I can tell you right now, there are those who are brainwashed into this hive mentality. Stand up for your inherent God-given rights. For independence. You have the right under nature to defend yourself by any means necessary. And it doesn't matter how many lemmings, and let me describe to you what a lemming is. Those are the people who have this hive group mentality, who are standing in line with the rest of the sheep, and they don't even realize they're in the line for slaughter until they can smell the blood of the other sheep in front of them. That is a lemming. That is the one that does what they're told, listens to whatever comes out, regardless of whether or not the facts is put in front of their face. If every man and woman in this country carried a firearm, it doesn't matter whether or not you run into somebody who is an evil person. Because if they try to commit a crime or try to rape you, rape your children, murder you, then you have the right to self-defense. You can stand up for yourself. There's a lot of times you don't have time to call the police. And they show up after the fact, putting you in a body bag. Or one of your family members. Reality is where we need to live. Not this fake crap that they are building up. It is fake. It is bullshit. The more we sit back and allow this, the worse it's going to get.